Dear boomers, today I want to talk about the boomer effect of the boomer bashing that is going on my channel today and yesterday and throughout the weekend. The boomer bashing is in direct relationship to a couple of videos that I made talking about the boomer bashing comedy act of Tim Dillon. And I had no idea how popular he is, and had I known, it would have even been more exciting, but I didn't know. And he apparently has a lot of influence in telling the younger people why they've been virtually gypped by the baby boomer generation. And then everybody on my channel who is commenting all have great examples of how the boomers are holding on to property, or how one person said the property that their aunt had was willed to a cat instead of them, basically. This is the kind of thing that we have to understand, that the whole premise there is that we are not giving up our wealth to the younger people. And I beg to say that, we have done the best we can. And I actually have willed this whole place and other things that I have to my son. And I need to let him know where my will is when I decide to take off. Leave the thinking of the world behind, right? So basically, we, as I have said before, the boomers have done a lot to make society what it is today in terms of the Cultural Revolution, the Civil Rights Movement, and the anti-war movement. And we basically kind of blew everything out of the water. And maybe, from the 50s to the 60s, the 50s were boring. We lived through them. And then you had the 60s, which had the potential to be exciting. But really, you were just living your normal life, taking a few drugs here and there. Psychedelics especially did open our eyes to a world that we still haven't figured out, and we're still trying to figure out the role of psychedelics in our experiences. So we have contributed to a whole new world, let's put it that way. So there are intergenerational challenges for sure. I mean that's understandable. There are economic and technological shifts that are genuine challenges for the generations coming up. And actually, the world we have created has become challenging to the boomers. Everything is kind of a challenge. We have, there are fueled perceptions, and there are criticisms of the boomers that may or may not be true. Because when you are talking about divisions between anybody or anything, divisions against the boomers, to the younger people, to the much older people than myself, that really is a way to perpetrate a lot of hate. And I believe that it's time to change these perceptions. And the people that are commenting on my channel, well, that's fine. I really believe that I can develop a thick skin and I can love them anyway, right? Love them anyway. Forgive them, forgive myself for anything I could have done to cause such agony in these people. And I believe it's just on the part of Tim Dillon, I believe it's a comedy act. He has obviously a lot of hate, in my opinion, but it doesn't seem like the kids think that that's true. So when the boomers are actually scapegoated, That's very, very dangerous, because what it does is that it distracts from the potential to create solutions for the world. The solutions for the world today need to be done from a place of unity and from a place of open discussion and debate. And there's instead of just slashing my tires, as it were, the boomerang effect is something I thought was an interesting title for this. It's like you are throwing the problem outside of yourself, not taking any responsibility. And when you do that, it could come back and kill you, basically. If you're not taking responsibility for anything at all, you're going to blame your parents for living in the basement or living in the attic or not being able to get a job, or, going out and creating a business on the internet. These things are all very possible. You find the right mentors and you get to work, basically. To be able to live in American society takes a certain amount of ingenuity, and that is what could be something that happens for everybody. So, I just mentioned that we're not in a place of genuine dialogue, which is very enhancing. When you can talk to somebody, listen to things that don't necessarily correlate with your inner experience or outer experience, however how you want to say, you don't disrespect them. You hang out with them and you love them, you forgive them. What we need is a definite shift towards constructive intergenerational conversations that aim to bridge the understanding and foster collaborative solutions. And that is what is important. We need to find solutions and not just start screaming and shouting. It was pointed out to me yesterday that the demonstrations against the Gaza war is something that could lead to solutions that the American government could use to stop the war. I mean, there should be solutions that are presented. And instead, they have a bunch of armed policemen, huge amounts of armed policemen, even more than were ever present when we were demonstrating against the Vietnam War, except for Kent State. We're going to if we have another Kent State situation, which that was in 1970 in Ohio, Kent State University, we will have a real disaster on our hands. And maybe that is what those who like to stir the pot are aiming for. But anybody who demonstrates against any war is also scapegoated, and they are used as a way to create solutions that are harmful, violent, and not constructive whatsoever. So I think that we need to have community to discuss these things, community forums, intergenerational workshops. I love that. I love to hang out with people who are younger than me and people who are older than me. I just love people. That was my profession was a nurse for 40 straight years, full time, working with younger people, working with older people, working with patients whom I just adored. And that is where I'm at right now. I mean, I love them. And so, as a result of working with all kinds of people, I have always believed in inclusion. And as a matter of fact, my upbringing was one of inclusion. And we can make inclusive policy making as a practical step. So we do live in a world that is quick to judge and slow to understand. We lack respect and cooperation across the generations and across the political sphere. So we need people to just get together and talk and get out of their houses and meet in the marketplace and enjoy each other, because my goodness, people are just beautiful. all people. As Maharaji, the guru of Ram Dass, said, love everybody. Love everybody. And he also said that everything is perfect. And that means that I can have a choice. I can look over these comments and feel vulnerable because there are even some threats in these comments. Or I can deflect them, I can answer lovingly, and I can enjoy the controversy that these videos are creating, because if it weren't for the controversy of the videos, my channel would not be growing as quickly. I will ask you, I would like to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of May. So please subscribe and enjoy everything about your life, because it is a wonderful life, beautiful life. Namaste. Peace on earth. Bye-bye.